Hey there friends, this is Amy from Beloved Plans. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my February tending list and goals and how those went, showing you how I updated to my March goals and what my March tending list looks like. If you're new to my channel, this channel is for anyone who's looking to get more organized in their finances, productivity, business, and day-to-day life. So let's dive in and see how February goals went and what's on tap for March. Okay, so first things first is I have my February tending list here, and as you can see, it was like a little sporadic and not quite as accomplished as January was, but that's okay. For some reason, February I kind of went off the rails a little bit as far as all the good habits I'd been forming. I did go on vacation at the end of January, and sometimes I feel like when I come back from vacation, I have a hard time like restarting and kind of getting back to where I was before I left. So I'm going to give myself some grace over that for the month, and that's okay. So as you can see, I did accomplish 4 of my monthly action items. I went on a date night with my husband. I got our 2020 tax documents submitted, and we actually had those filed by the end of the month. So that was a huge goal. And we also finished off our master bathroom projects, painting it and installing new bathroom mirrors. So I'm super excited with how all of that turned out. Put a note in there to put a picture of the finished bathroom in the video. For my weekly action items, I had wanted to batch film videos every week. So that means like film multiple videos on the same day. Finish the Matchless Bible study I had been doing, and then do no spend one time per week. So 1 day per week. I did a decent job on that. I did it a couple weeks. That's a really hard one for me. Next was my budgeting update and budget by paycheck. I actually ended up doing that all the weeks. I think we had 4 weeks in February. Mark that one off. Working out 3 times a week. Gonna be real here. I really only exercise like once a week when my tennis league start up. So I really only have been doing that. I haven't been getting to the gym like I had hoped. My hand lettering planner too, total bust for the month. I don't even think I did a single day. I prepped it and I put all the words in there, but I actually didn't do any of the lettering. So I am hoping to get caught up on this and do February's also. I'm thinking I'll do like, on the 1st of March, I'll do the 1st of February words and the 1st of March. So then hopefully I can kind of get caught back up. But again, like if I can still do this whenever I feel like it, it's not a super time sensitive thing. So that was okay to kind of let that go. One of my daily action items was to check in on my daughter's school stuff online because they're still hybrid, to have some Jesus time, 20 hours of fasting, wake up by 7:30. And one I added on here mid-month was called morning pages, and more to come on that later. But I did start that one mid-month. I actually have been doing some of these things here. I just have been forgetting to mark them off on my tending list. So part of me wants to actually put tending list on my tending list. I know, right? The irony of that, huh? So on the back of February's tending list here, we have our month in review. People I'm grateful for, went through, wrote those down. Good things that happened this month was I finished the bathroom project, got our taxes filed. I read or listened to a ton of podcasts, and I actually finished 5 audiobooks. So I've just been killing it with the audiobooks. There's been so many good ones I've been listening to lately. My favorite one from the month of February was called The Guest List. If you haven't read that yet, definitely check that out. A note in there to put a picture of the cover in the video. Goals that I actually did really well was financial goals, recreation, and my Beloved Plans goals went well. The things I'm going to choose grace over guilt about, I did talk about these already. Not fasting as much, not doing my Devo, my Bible study, and then not hand lettering. Favorite memories I had for the month was my friend and I finally got ice fishing. That was actually on my January tending list, but we never had time to do it just due to our schedules. But we actually went the last weekend of February, and it was like 50 degrees out. It was gorgeous. We didn't catch a single fish, but we were out there for about 4 hours, and it just was a ton of fun. So felt good to get outside. And then I am a leader for a wildlife young life middle school group, and we had a really fun small group get together that I themed Galentine's. The kids also went back to hybrid school in the month of February, so that was huge. They had been full distance since early November. So getting them back to hybrid was amazing. I also got my eyebrows microbladed on, so it's like a permanent makeup kind of thing. My daughter had a really fun out of town volleyball tournament. We also did Feed My Starving Children with the group that I lead, and that was a really fun event. So things I'm saying no to, just fear in the world right now. I live in Minnesota, and our state is very polarized as far as all the COVID stuff goes. So there's just a lot of tension right now. And then I also live close to Minneapolis, and we have all the George Floyd stuff going on. So there's a lot of fear going on in our city right now about just kind of like how that's all going to play out and everything and the ramifications of that. I'm also going to say no to being lazy. I feel like February, I kind of was lazy. I really didn't have a lot of motivation. February can be a tough month in Minnesota because like it's usually pretty cold for winter. We're all sick of winter. We're kind of bored of our winter activities, and we're really just starting to kind of get that itch for spring. So, and there's like not a whole lot of daylight. It's kind of a depressing month where I live. So I just feel like that month I just did not have a lot of motivation to do things. Like I knew I wanted to get certain things done, but at the end of the day I was just like, ugh, I just want to sit here and like play a game on my phone instead. And sometimes I did that, but that's the stuff we got to choose grace over guilt about. Saying yes to getting outside. The weather has been beautiful here. So funny because I just talked about how icky it can be in February. March is off to an amazing start. All of our snow is melted. We had like our first thunderstorm last week. So spring is in the air here, and it's amazing. My son and I are going to be going to the Minnesota Twins spring training at the end of the month. So I'm super excited about that. And my daughter and I are taking a macarons making class. So I'm super excited to make macarons with her. So that is kind of how I did my month in review. I know that's a lot of detail. I don't know if you guys like hearing that or not. I personally love hearing kind of where people are at or how their month went for their stuff. So that's why I share it with you, because I like to hear it too. So now we'll dive into the March prep work. So preparing well for the month. This is where I just kind of went through my month ahead. Important to-dos I listed out, things I'm excited for. That's kind of what I said my saying yes to. On my mind, like our school board, the kids, if they're going to stay hybrid, or if the older kids are going to be able to go back to 4 days a week. My husband being busy at work, my brother-in-law's health. He's been fighting long-term COVID effects. So just that's been on my heart. And then again, hopeful, a lot of it's like health related, COVID related kind of stuff too. So that is my prep for the month. This is like kind of a brain dumper, just where you clear your mind and heart and everything of what's stressing you out, but also what you're excited for and things you need to do for the month ahead. So I don't use the monthly spread at this moment, but here is my brainstorming for the month. So this is where I kind of look at my month as a whole, what I have going on, and just start like putting stuff down that I might want to work on. So the way I do it is I just do it all in black pen. And then what I do is I come back in with highlighters that match the colors of my yearly goals that I initially set up in January. And then I highlight them so they coordinate with these. So this way I know, okay, if I work on this stuff that's green, those are financial goals. So that's going to help me reach my financial goals for the year. So that way I know that like things are aligning with what I set out to work on. Now here I have a couple things on here that I want to do in the month that don't necessarily correlate with a goal, and that's okay. I just left them not highlighted. So when I do my refresh at the end of March, maybe I want to set something up that encompasses these things. These are both things for volunteer activities that I do. So maybe I need to set up a goal for that. But that's just, it's okay to have things on here that don't perfectly align with your goals. I just like this visual of looking and seeing how much of the things I'd like to accomplish actually do align with my goals. So my monthly ideas: make macarons. My son is applying to National Honor Society. I want to attend a virtual women's faith conference in March, sell some things, close out my budget for February, weekly ideas I have here, and then my daily ideas. I'm not going to go into super detail about these because a lot of them are my attending list that I'll show you next, but this is just kind of how I go through and brainstorm for the month ahead. So the next step then is to take these, or whatever is in my brain, and put it onto my attending list for the month of March. So I have done that. And of course I like to color coordinate things and make it all really pretty. So I kind of have a green theme going here. My encouraging words for the month is: discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't want to do it. Because I do feel like in February, the discipline piece was really kind of one thing I struggled with. So I wanted to just kind of have a little bit of encouragement about discipline there. My priority for this month is definitely to finish my matchless Bible study, because I really want to get that done, because I want to start start a new one. So the monthly action items I have on here is I want to go to our school board meeting on March 8th. That's where they're gonna hopefully be talking about some of the things to get our kids back in school more, and that's something I'm very passionate about. To submit my son to help him submit his National Honor Society application, this is the IF 2021. That's the Women's Faith Conference I am going to be attending virtually. Sell our old bathroom mirror. Send in ThreadUp as a place where you can send in your clothes or accessories, and they will basically consign them for you. So I have a big box of stuff I've been kind of like putting in there, and I want to finally send that in. Close out my February budget, and then make macarons. My daughter and I are taking a macarons making class the first week of March, so I want to actually do that at home with her. It's also her birthday this month too. I didn't put anything on my tending list for her birthday because it's a given that we'll celebrate it, but I thought the macarons thing is good for that too. I love just putting a few little encouraging stickers on here too from my various sticker books. So for my weekly action items, this one I had as a daily, and I just found that I wasn't actually doing it every single day. It was kind of more of a couple times a week thing. So I just decided to make it a weekly item to check on my daughter's schoolwork and then highlight that. I did do that the first week already. Post 2 new videos a week for Beloved Plans. And again, so these dots are what basically match what I highlighted over here, and that correlates to the same colors of the goals I set at the beginning of the year. So again, that's my visual cue to know, okay, like I don't have all of one category, I've got a good variety going on here to match the goals that I'm working towards. Matchless Bible study. Now yes, that is my priority for the month, but I also wanted to keep track of like doing it every week because I feel like that will help me keep more on track towards getting that done. I also want to try and do one no spend day every single week, a Monday or a Tuesday. So again, I really am trying to be more disciplined about the no spend. Workout, move my body 2 times a week. Now in February, I had a goal of 3 times a week, and I really did not do that. So I thought, you know what, let's take a step back. Let's make it a little bit more achievable. I know I'm going to be playing tennis once a week, most weeks. So really all that means is that I need to like go for a walk or do a workout or anything, just one additional day a week. So I'm again trying to start small, set myself up for success, make it something that I can accomplish, so then maybe next month I can go to 3 times a week. I also did like a huge office purge in January and February, and I want to maintain and keep my office clean and tidy. So it's one of those spaces in my home that it's all mine, and I tend to just like put things on my desk, but then they never like get dealt with. So I'm really hoping that if I have it as a weekly thing to go in there once a week and just tidy things up, put things in their homes or deal with them, or just make a plan for how I'm going to deal with them. All right, so down to the daily action items. Hand lettering, again, this is one that I need to focus on. My Jesus time. Now, ideally, this will fall in line with my Bible study, but even just like, journaling, a Bible verse or anything, like just some time with Jesus, even if it's just like a 2-minute little prayer. I really do want to get back into my fasting, my 20 hours of fasting a day. Wake up by 8. Last month I had 7:30. Wasn't super successful at that time, so I want to do 8. I tend to stay up late, usually go to bed around midnight or so, and with the way my kids' school schedules are right now, they're only getting up to go to school on Tuesdays and Fridays. So though the rest of the days, I am having way too easy of a time sleeping later. So I really need to be up by 8. And then last but not least, I have a new habit of morning pages. If you guys aren't familiar with what those are, I encourage you to check them out. Morning pages are basically just when after I make my cup of coffee, I go down and I have a notebook that I just sit down and I literally just brain dump anything and everything that comes to my mind those first few minutes of the day. Now, in the official morning pages method, you are supposed to do 3 right until you fill 3 pages. I did do that the first week or so, and I really just found that I just didn't have a whole lot to put to fill up 3 pages. So I got to the point now where I just write until I feel like I have nothing else to say. And it's about anything and everything. I never go back and read them. It's just literally a way to just dump all the crap out of your head out. So I really am trying to form that as a habit every single morning. Sometimes I actually have been doing them before bed or in the evening. I have found that as sometimes in the morning I don't have a whole lot on my mind, but as the day progresses, that's when my emotions start to build up about certain things or worry worries or things are just running through my head. And so I might experiment with doing them more in the evening or having a separate evening pages time also. And so at least once a day, I'm doing that dump of what's in my brain. I will say it has freed up so much mental clarity for me, and just given me more space to think about things, have new ideas. I just have felt very different mentally since doing this practice. So I highly encourage it. I will actually link down to one of my favorite videos that explained how morning pages work to me from Amy Landino. I love her stuff if you guys want to check that out. So that is where we are at for the month of March as far as my goals and tending list go. I'm pretty happy with the progress I'm making. Again, some areas are just coming more easily than others, but at the end of this month and for my April prep, I actually will be doing a goal refresh. So next month's video will be a little bit longer, a little bit different as I walk you through my goal refresh for the end of the first quarter. But I hope you guys found this helpful. Let me know down in the comments below how your goals for the year are going. This tends to be the time of year where I kind of just stop doing my power sheet. So I'm really hopeful that I will just keep going. I think filming these videos actually for you guys helps keep me accountable because it makes me have something to show you on the video. If I don't do my stuff, I have nothing to film. So I appreciate you guys watching. I'm actually going to go ahead and link to my February setup for my tending list. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'd love to see you over there. Thanks so much for watching, guys.